Hello and welcome back to the Valencia Property Podcast. It's a new year, and for our first job is to say Happy New Year despite, well, everything really. Just like every year, Spain decided to carry on the Christmas and New Year festivities well into the new year. As we go on, Just like every year, Spain decided to carry on the Christmas and New Year festivities well into the new year, as we go on until the day after Epiphany. So finally, the kids are back in school, people are slowly drifting back into work, and we're getting back into the day-to-day of being the most successful buyer's agency specializing in Valencia. We have no sponsor this month because we were busy over Christmas and because we have morals. Morals, I hear you ask? Surely you're an estate agent and the two things can't exist together. But no, we had an offer for sponsorship this month, but we turned it down. First, we were sponsored by Horchata, then Paella, nothing against those. But being offered a sponsor that was bullfighting was beyond the pale. We don't agree with bullfighting, so we turned it down. They offered to downgrade it to Bus al Carrer, which is where the bull gets a chance to get its own back by charging round the streets and goring drunkards, but we're not into that either, so this month, no sponsor. What we are going to do, though, is tell you about what's going on in Valencia, look over the latest blog posts, and tell you what to expect in 2026 in the Valencia property market. So with no more ado, let's start. We're recording this over the weekend because next week we're going to have to spend most of the week in the notary with sales left over from 2025. So it's unlikely we'll have much time for recording. It also means we haven't had time to prepare the quiz we started last time, so we may have a smaller interim episode in the next couple of weeks or add the quiz to the next episode. So 2026 is starting with many changes in Valencia property land. We are changing the way we operate on social media so as to spend a lot less time there. And yet, at the same time, we've opened up a group on Facebook for those moving to Valencia. You can find the link, of course, in the show notes, but at the same time, I feel I want to justify this decision. So here goes nothing. Facebook is a cesspit. That's not really a good justification. It's not as bad as the child porn site Twitter has become, but a sewer, all the same. It's a cesspit, it's a sewer. We have thousands of you who have asked to see our posts on Facebook, but every time we post something, it gets seen by around 2% of those of you who have asked to see it. It's really not worth making the effort when Facebook would prefer you to see ads, and more ads. Oh, and a bit of rage bait to encourage you to hate others. Yeah, that's what Facebook does. So I know it's a bit hypocritical to have a group on the platform, but we wanted a place to create a community where you could avoid some or all of the following. Scammers and spammers, hate, disinformation, nut jobs, and irrelevance. How can we do that? Well, simply put, we're doing it with moderation and control of the group and a one strike and you're out policy. In other words, if someone gets into the group and then proceeds to do any of the above, scamming, spamming, hate, disinformation, being a nut job or irrelevance, they'll be gone. We're pitching the group as an expert-led group by the team at Valencia Property and Stepping Stone Rentals, but with participation from specialists in all of the associated things to do with moving to Valencia and relocation, from money transfers, mortgages and relocation to building, business formation and legalities. The more questions you ask there, the better group will become, as the owners... The more questions you ask there, the better group will become, as the answers will be a useful resource for anyone joining the group. We've also invited people into the group who have already moved here, so their experiences can be added into the answers for any newbies. This also means that as a newbie, you can get to know others who've already made the move and maybe set up your own meetings with like-minded individuals who have moved to Valencia, as many of them may have moved for similar reasons to you. And it's at this point I wonder whether I should mention the latest shenanigans over the pond. But no, you all know what's happening. On the blog over the last month, we've largely been talking about what's happened in the year, but we started the year by looking forward to 2026 and the reasons that you should be looking to move to Valencia this year. There'll be a second part of this on the blog on Monday, so keep your eye out for that. The link to the post and the whole blog are in the show notes, of course, and I'll update the show notes with the new blog once it's done. But let's just look at a few of those reasons here. Valencia has an exceptional cost of living. It offers genuine value that stands out even in today's inflationary environment. A couple can live comfortably on 3,000 to 3,500 euros a month, including rent for a modern flat in a good neighbourhood, regular dining out, and cultural activities. Compare this to London, Paris, or major American cities where you'd need between 5 and 10,000 for equivalent quality of life. A three-course meal with wine at a decent restaurant runs at 25 to 35 euros a person, while your morning coffee and pastry costs under 3 euros. Your monthly gym membership? Around 30 to 40 euros, but you can even find deals around 20. This isn't about living cheaply, it's more about your money going substantially further, allowing you to save, travel, or simply enjoy life without constant financial pressure. The next point is that there are 300 plus days of sunshine annually. Now, I'm really not sure if we'll get to this in 2026 thanks to an exceptionally grey and cool start to the year, and that's predicted to carry on quite a bit in the next month or so. But Valencia's Mediterranean climate genuinely transforms daily life for those escaping dark, grey northern winters. Believe me, I know, the north of England can be a grim place in the winter. Valencia, on the other hand, with over 300 sunshine days yearly, you'll experience winters where temperatures hover around maybe 15 to 18 degrees C, so around 60 degrees F, but are often in the 20s, in other words, the 70s, with abundant sunshine, perfect for outdoor dining in January. Summers are hot, but coastal breezes keep temperatures manageable mostly, rarely reaching the extreme heat of interior Spain. This reliable weather fundamentally changes how you live, with dining outside possible all year round, planning beach trips in February, and discovering that seasonal affective disorder might simply disappear. I know, it did for me. The predictability means you can actually plan outdoor activities with confidence, transforming everything from your social life to any fitness routines you may have as your New Year resolution. And remember, you shouldn't be giving up on your New Year resolutions after 2 weeks like most people do. Valencia also has a world-class healthcare system. Spain's healthcare consistently ranks among the top 10 globally, and Valencia's medical facilities exemplify this. The public system, which is accessible to residents, provides comprehensive care with minimal wait times for serious conditions, though the truth is these wait times have grown somewhat since the 2020 COVID surge. Private insurance costs from just 50 to 150 euros monthly and grants immediate access to specialists. Valencia's hospitals feature modern technology, highly trained doctors, many English speaking, and an emphasis on preventative care. Most importantly, you'll never face medical bankruptcy or insurance battles. From routine checkups to specialized treatments, healthcare in Valencia means quality care without a financial burden. Equally in Valencia, your beach and city lifestyle is combined. Valencia offers something genuinely rare: proper urban living with a Mediterranean beaches a 15-minute metro ride away. Start your Saturday with coffee in Ruzafa, spend your afternoon swimming at Las Arenas Beach, then catch an opera at the Palau de las Arts by the evening, if that's what floats your boat. This isn't a compromise, it's having the best of both worlds simultaneously. The beaches stretch for miles with fine sand backed by a palm-lined promenade, perfect for cycling or evening walks. Unlike resort towns that empty in winter, Valencia's beaches remain active all year round, with hardier locals swimming and many practicing beach volleyball even in January. Living 15 minutes from the sea fundamentally shifts your relationship with the coast as it becomes part of your weekly life rather than an occasional treat. Or you could even choose to live in the Cabanyal or the Malvarosa or Albaraya and be right by the sea with occasional visits to the centre for shopping therapy. Now, there are plenty more reasons listed in the blog, so maybe pop over there and take a look, or maybe you'd rather tell us a reason of your own. If you're already here, then send us a reason by mail on information@valencia-property.com, and we'll let everyone know about it. Also on the blog in the last month, we looked at Spain and affordability. It's not only eggs that are cheaper in Spain. However, as people who have lived here for a long time, 3 decades or a period spanning a couple of centuries, we recognize that Spain is not as cheap as it once was. However, where is? We receive so many clients from Northern Europe, North America, Australia, and the Gulf states, and more. that we also get a perspective about what things cost elsewhere compared with here. And the truth is that Spain compares very favourably with most places as a place to live from a cost of living point of view. And Valencia also compares very favourably with other places in Spain. At the start of the year, we did our regular look at the cost of living in Valencia in 2025, and in it we showed at the start of last year, we did our regular look at the cost of living in Valencia in 2025, and in it we showed that Valencia not only compares well with the aforementioned places, but at the same time it compares massively favourably with other destinations in Spain, such as Madrid, Barcelona, and the Basque Country, with San Sebastian being the outlier in Spain, mostly because of housing costs. The blog goes into the biggies. What are the big ticket What are the big ticket items that affect your day-to-day life and therefore your mood and perspectives? They are property prices, healthcare, interest rates, transport, utilities, childcare, and insurance. There are details in the blog for each one, but if you want the TLDR, then the basics are that virtually everything there is cheaper here than where you are coming from. The items I mentioned are the big ticket items, the things that you have to pay in many cases for peace of mind and more. However, the day-to-day items also make a huge difference in how much it costs to live here. Food, drink, and entertainment are affordable. Your other car costs, if you have a car, like parking, charging, and MOT costs, are lower. I say charging because you wouldn't be silly enough to buy an ICE car these days, would you? Yes, petrol is more expensive, but charging isn't. Again, you can read more about the day-to-day costs in our study of the cost of living in Valencia in 2025, which is linked in the show notes. And next month, we'll probably do a cost of living in Valencia in 2026 article. Why do you need to know this? You may ask why we are telling you this. The answer is simple. People wonder how much it costs to live in Spain, and the answer is probably a lot less than where you are coming from. This is true for the majority of our clients. The huge difference generally means that any worries about how much tax will I pay, for example, are massively overblown. The differences in the day-to-day and monthly costs of living and the big ticket items will likely more than make up for that difference, and your quality of life will improve massively. So, as we say to everyone, pay your taxes and enjoy life, because the taxes pay for you to be able to enjoy life. That's why we've got good health service. That's why we've got good roads, good communications. It's why it's a good place to live. Contact us and start your journey. How do you contact us? Information at valenciaproperty.com. That's information at valencia-property.com. What else do you need to know? Well, we've had a few mad inquiries at the start of the year. We always do. Examples include the mail from a person who sent us and 32 other agents, they put in CC rather than BCC, a list of requirements that were eye-watering, and they wanted to pay the princely sum of €125,000, and that had to include all costs, to get those requirements in central Valencia. We didn't bother answering. He needs to start work on that time machine, really, rather than writing an email to 33 agents. And then we had the iluso. Iluso is a Spanish word meaning dreamer, who insisted that there were thousands of properties in Valencia below 100k, and they only wanted to see a small selection of 20 to 30 in the 1.5 days here over a weekend to decide what they might like to buy next year, perhaps, if they like them. Just tell the owners I'm an American with money was the reasoning for being let into these non-existent properties. Of course, though, we got a lot more genuinely interesting inquiries. People wanting to set up businesses here. People wanting to work from here because they can work from anywhere. And they want to escape Donny and the fascists, for example. People wanting to retire here early because the numbers just make sense, and more. Many are now working with us to find their perfect property in Valencia. We hope we can be of service. One last thing today, and it's a sad thing. Let's be serious for a minute. R.I.P. Cyndi. And to the whole family and friend group, sorry for your loss. We know how appreciated you were by the whole community here who have met you and enjoyed your friendship and understanding. It's a real pity you didn't have even more time to enjoy Valencia like you undoubtedly did. But cancer, it's a bastard. You'll be sorely missed. So until next time, it's goodbye from us at Valencia Property, Stepping Stone Rentals, and even Valencia Remodels. We'll be back soon with a mini episode, and then next month a Clash of the Titans in our quiz. If you enjoyed this podcast or know someone who would benefit from starting to think about moving here, then feel free to share this episode and more with them. And remember, on our blog homepage, if you have enjoyed this podcast or know someone who would benefit from starting to think about moving here, that's 300 million of you in America, for example, then feel free to share this episode with them and share more as well. Remember, on our podcast homepage, we have over 50 previous episodes to listen to. And on our blog homepage, we have more than 10 years of blog writing, most of which are evergreen articles and evergreen podcasts with essential information for those looking to move to Valencia. We all look forward to hearing from you soon. Except for the trolls. You can just, the words are a stronger version of go away. Adios from me, and we'll speak next month.